deposited that for Australia's most famous win.
He goes again, down the ground, and runs away.
This is a sensational hit. India win a famous win.
This bloke is brilliant. 4-4-6.
Carlos Brathwaite! Carlos Brathwaite!
Knock off, knock off, knock off!
The 2010 World Cup semi-final, it's Australia versus Pakistan. Pakistan bat first and put up a massive 191 on the board, and in reply, Australia were reduced to 62 for 4. The invincible Aussies were now getting completely blown away. With 19 needed in the last 7 overs, Cameron White smashes 5 crucial sixes to give a glimmer, just a glimmer of hope. But when White walks back, Australia still requires 60 of the last 4, and then Michael Hussey walks into bat. Fast forward, 34 needed of the last 2 overs, when Hussey walks across a 90-mile-an-hour delivery and delicately scoops it over fine leg for a boundary. A shot that gave a statement he is not going down without a fight. Last over, Saeed Ajmal, 18 needed. A single puts Hussey back on strike, and the second ball goes straight over square leg for 6. The third ball, 6. Pakistan can now feel it slipping, and Australia smell blood. The next ball goes millimeters over point and races away for a boundary, and the last ball, Hussey smashes it straight over long on as he roars in celebration. As the world watched that day, it came to know one thing: it's not over until Australia says it is over. James Faulkner said, "We don't really like the West Indies" in an interview just before the match, and there was one man who took this statement personally. Chasing 179 in a virtual eliminator, the West Indies were reduced from 101 for 1 to 130 for 4, while the required run rate went from 9 to 15. Now this is a team who was whitewashed in a test series, and all of them came by an innings defeat. Careers were on the line, including Darren Sammy's own. There was everything to play for, everything to lose. Fast forward, 31 needed of the last 2 overs. It's Mitchell Starc to Darren Sammy. Every shot he hit was personal. Every run he ran was like his last, especially that flick over square leg. That was so audacious that it felt like revenge. Sammy smashed Starc for 19 runs in that over, and it all came down to the final over. It's James Faulkner versus Darren Sammy. 2 perfect Yorkers, 2 dot balls. 12 needed of the last 4 balls, and then it's a full toss. It sails over long off for a 6 as Faulkner just watched in despair. The next ball right in the slot, and Sammy smashes it straight down the ground, and even before the ball landed, he was off towards the dugout in celebration. This was a tight slap in the face of the Australians that noise doesn't win you games. Hollow, sensational talks have no meaning when you don't have your actions to back them up. 90,000 people had their eyes locked in. At the center of it all, there was a man who couldn't even score a run a while back. Now carrying the hopes and dreams of $1 billion on his shoulders, there stands Virat Kohli on the most prestigious stages of them all. This is where he shines. This is what he is known for. This is what he has always been destined for. 28 of 8. As eyes widened, jaws dropped, and heart stopped, and then came those 2 shots. Those 2 shots that were a culmination of years of frustration, pain, anger, his battle with runs, his battle with form, his battle with himself. 90,000 voices at the MCG erupted in unison. Those 2 shots were so extraordinary that they transcended beyond the present and into the legend. They were a manifestation to who Virat Kohli really is and what he still means for all of us. If there was someone who could defy the impossible, who could script his own destiny, it was none other than Virat Kohli. We are no strangers to the final over drama that unfolded, but the fate of Pakistan was sealed with those 2 shots. The shots when the king reclaimed his throne. We all remember the 2013 ODI series between India and Australia, in which at Mohali, James Faulkner smashed 30 runs of Ishant Sharma that rendered his white ball career completely irrecoverable. 3 years later, his Delhi teammate has his revenge. It was the virtual quarterfinal between India and Australia at Mohali 2016, and Australia came out swinging. With 50 in 4 overs, 220 was on the cards. India did manage to squeeze things in the middle, but with 15 of the last over, the momentum was with Australia. The pitch was slow, the boundaries were long, and India were choking. 40 were needed of the last 3 overs when Virat Kohli switched on the beast mode. On a low, sluggish pitch in the James Faulkner over, he drilled a Yorker past point, and even the diving fielder could not save it. He smashed a slow ball straight over long off for a 6, and then he whipped a ball that stayed unplayably low past square leg for a boundary. With 3 boundaries in Nathan Coulter-Nile's next over, Kohli sealed the fate for Australia. There comes a day when all the stars are aligned in your favor. You don't realize it when you are in the zone, when you are performing at the best of your abilities, but when you have pulled off an impossible heist, the magnitude of your own achievements slowly begins to dawn upon you, and that realization brings in humility and a sense of gratitude. And it is with this humility and respect that Virat Kohli sank down to his knees. He himself couldn't believe the enormity of his innings. The stage was set for an epic grand finale between England and a team that had absolutely nothing to lose, the West Indies. The team surrounded by chaos who almost didn't make it here. Players battling their own board, fighting for respect, pride, and people back home who still believed in them. With just 156 to chase, what should have been a walk in the park turned into an absolute nightmare. And it all came down to the final over. With 19 needed, Marlon Samuels in his 80s was now just a spectator, as it was Carlos Brathwaite on strike. And what happened next will be scripted in cricket history books with golden letters.
Carlos Brathwaite! Carlos Brathwaite!
As he swung the last ball straight into the stands, a crowd of 90,000 at the Eden Gardens erupted in unison, and Ian Bishop's legendary commentary echoed through the entire world. This was a statement from the West Indies, from the team that was doubted, from the region that was completely written off, and from the players whose commitments were questioned. This was their answer, not with words, not with fiery statements, but with 4 astonishing sixes that made the world stand and applaud. In a moment, they went from doubt to dominance and from chaos to champions. Are dreams really worth it? Putting your everything behind that one dream in the hope that one day, just the one day, that dream would turn into a wonderful reality. And when everything is falling into place like a miracle, all the stars are aligning perfectly. You are rising above all with the grace of a falcon. You are just one step away from the glory. And when it matters the most, life hits you in the head with a brick. Completely shattered, sitting in a corner, absolutely heartbroken, you ask yourself the question, are dreams really worth it? Still searching for answers? With the same dream that has now turned into an ambition, you decide to give it your all once again, but it might just be for the one last time. It all feels like an echo from the past memory. The stars are once again aligning perfectly. You are invincible, and just when it matters the most, it is once again about to be shattered. Things start to become blur, but this time you hold on to your nerve. Be as clutch as you can be and pull off an impossible miracle, and finally your dream has unfolded into a beautiful reality. You are overwhelmed, overjoyed. All the words in the universe fail to capture the moment, but in that euphoria, you have managed to find your answer. Even though you didn't hit a star, but you have definitely hit the moon. And eventually, you realize that the moon is even more beautiful than the star because it was always meant to be yours.